So I did want to talk about which wrestlers I consider to be the best to come from WWE. Not necessarily the best, not simply the best to come from WWE or to leave WWE, go to AEW, but which ones have been seemingly better off in AEW and have improved greatly or been used better, things of that nature. And the ones that got to really show what they were capable of outside of WWE, that didn't really get to display what they can really do in the ring, or get to put on the matches that they really wanted to. I do want to start off with an honorable mention, being Naomi, as I do feel like she was better off in TNA than she is in WWE at the moment, but it's her choice, all her choice. I feel like she'll be okay in WWE, I feel like she'll be fine, but she was doing great in TNA, and I feel like she could have stayed outside of WWE for just a little bit longer, just to really find her craft outside, and then return. They're going to be in no particular order, therefore I'm going to be starting off with Jon Moxley. Now, Jon Moxley as Dean Ambrose was fairly good as a character for a couple of years after the Shield split up. But there was a point with the gas mask and the Purge character that wasn't really working for me personally. I'm not sure exactly how well it fared because I had stopped watching a little bit before that. But he was a great champion in WWE, he was a lot of people's favorite, but he didn't really get to show his vision of how this could go. But then he left WWE, headed over to AEW and New Japan, found a whole new side of himself, and displayed a grit and a technical side that I don't think we really got to see in WWE. Now he's the AEW World Champion for the third, fourth time, and in a top story with his faction, the Death Riders. He's shown time and time again he's very capable of holding this position that he's in, and when he wants to make a change to the promotion, now he has the ability to do that. Next up I'll go with Swerve Strickland. Swerve was someone I had seen bits and pieces of in NXT, and I really liked the visual of Swerve, of Isaiah Scott at the time. Though there was something missing, and I was never able to piece it. He was North American champion, I recall. He was, leader of Hit Row. And then they brought him up as a tag team with Adonis, I believe. I never saw that. I didn't see that coming. He was portrayed very well in NXT, I will say. But his moveset, being as smooth as it is, didn't feel dangerous. And I felt that he could have been a threat. But he felt like he was on top, but not really a threat. He came to AEW leaning off the NXT-ish feeling, but phasing off of it immediately. Interacting with Keith Lee and such. And then after the end of the Keith Lee situation, he started to feel dangerous with the Gates of Agony, the Mogul Embassy. Those Mogul affiliates first. The Mogul affiliates felt like they did look like threats, but it was hard to execute with the people they had. So yeah, dropping the Mogul affiliates and swapping to the Mogul Embassy felt like a wrestling threat, like a big wrestling threat. And then splitting that and having him go on to become a real time, the guy. He's the guy. And he can portray himself as dangerous, as championship caliber, as main event level. I do feel like that might have been what he was missing. He could fill the spot that he wasn't being given the opportunity to grab. He might have taken this opportunity by force, but he got it. He did it. He rolled with the punches. He went through AEW Dark. He went through the Rampage Exile. He was making the most of every minute he got, and it got him to the top. 8 high. Big championship. Facing Bobby Lashley now in high card matches. Real main event level stuff. I'll say Bryan Danielson now rather than earlier on. I do feel like him being in WWE was very good. It's always the ending stretch that always seems to be very shaky and weird. And I never really connected with it. But the whole Yes Movement thing was really good. The build up to it was great. After that though, the Planet Champion stuff, the Earth's Champion stuff was good. It was okay. It was alright. The Kane stuff was good. It was fun. But I do feel like the Miz stuff I didn't really connect with. I didn't really connect with the Miz matches or the Miz stories even. So him showing up in AEW, having matches with like Kenny Omega at Grand Slam, Ospreay at Dynasty, and Swerve Strickland at All In. He portrayed he's the greatest wrestler on the planet, and he was given a platform where he can talk about it and he could show it in the ring. So he went over to Japan. He wanted to do a G1 Climax. Never got to do that. If he manages to in the future, man, that'll be something else. But I do want to see more out of Bryan Danielson if he's physically able to. I'll go with Pac up next. Being portrayed as the man that gravity forgotten, Adrian Neville in NXT in 205 Live. It was all cool. I did feel like he was finding himself really in 205 Live. But even as Adrian Neville, he was one of my favorites to see. He had a very unique style, and I did gravitate toward it. No pun intended. But Pac outside of WWE, it feels like a problem walking around. A very fast, strong problem. He's got this eerie, loud music, crazy fast strikes, can fly however he chooses. It's crazy stuff, honestly, which he was showing in WWE, but he wasn't able to put it on this scale. He wasn't able to up the scale just that little bit more. I'll say Claudio Castagnoli next, being the Swiss cyborg or Swiss Superman, whatever they were calling him over there. It was good for a little bit. The bar stuff was good. Everything before that was good. Then they had that singles run where they did that Matrix the character. I never understood that really. I didn't get it. I just didn't get it. Then he debuts in AEW facing Zack Sabre Jr. and he did ever show a little bit more depth. He's not bad on the mic. Really not. He's a pretty good promo, if we're being completely honest with ourselves. The Death Ratcher stuff has been really good. Even before then, the BCC stuff. I should have mentioned that with John Moxley. Very, very good. And Danielson. I should have said with Danielson as well. Very good. You can align face, heel, it works. He works well either way. I'm going to say Christian Cage and Adam Copeland at this point of their careers. Christian Cage has been putting on some of the best work of his career in AEW. Adam Copeland hasn't had much time. He did get about a year, like a little under a year, to really perform for his injury. When he returns, he'll definitely have a good time. But they both had really good TNT Championship runs. Both of them. Christian Cage seems to be about to have a World Championship match. He's been putting on some great character work. I've loved to see it. I do want to see more out of Adam Copeland later on when he returns, so he has more time. I do want to say Athena very strongly. Athena as Ember Moon, I was a fan of her presentation. The visual of the theme song of Ember Moon was very good. But I have liked Athena as Athena quite a bit more, actually. Harsher in the ring, a little more stiff feeling action in the ring. A fun character, really fun persona to have. Longest reigning Ring of Honor champion at this point, I believe. Well deserving of it. Very good stuff. I feel like once we pass it down to Billy Starks, he'll be AEW Women's World Championship worthy. And we're likely about to see her in the Tokyo Dome. Let's go! What? I'll say Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe's portrayal just about everywhere has been pretty much accurate, but I do feel like he's really a top guy in all shapes and form. He's a top guy. There's no other. There's not really a debate about it. He's really good at everything he does. Very good at everything he does. And the last thing I think I'll wrap it up with Mercedes Moné. Mercedes Moné, I've been waving that flag for years of her being the best American women's wrestler of all time, likely in the top 5 in the world. Yet she was not able to really put that on notice unless she went somewhere else, and her leaving WWE to go to Stardom initially was pretty big. That was huge. Won the championship, put on some of the best women's matches I've seen. Then came over to AEW. Same stuff. With big, solid, if not amazing matches. She can still talk real good. Great champion. A fun heel character. And doing some of the best work of her career, honestly. I do want to see more of this for the time being. As long as it lasts. I want to see how long it goes. That's just a couple of the former WWE wrestlers that I feel like, well, former if not recurrent WWE wrestlers that moved over to AEW, and I feel like we're better off So get off the video now. Leave. Bye. Watch some of my other videos. I don't know. Get out.